Is it hot? Hey, one person, go ahead and say hi in the chat so I can know who's on here that's watching me. All you gotta do is say hi and give a thumbs up if you enter when you enter the room as well. Well, dropped off. Well, I guess whoever it is must not be in an internet spot. All right, y'all just not seeing me at this time of the day, which is 2:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me go ahead and begin because next thing you know, it's going to be time for me to go to work. And I do need to apply for some positions while I'm online. So I'm not going to be here long, but I'll be here. So anyway, as y'all know, in the title, I completed SV Academy, which is a online program that will prepare you for careers in technical sales, or what's known as SDR, which stands for Sales Development Representative, as well as a position for customer success. Now, this was courtesy of Amazon, me working at Amazon. Now, Amazon had career choice. So, one of the reasons why I hung in there at Amazon was because I wanted to take advantage of if you could go back to school or take a training program, and basically they'll pay for it up front. So last year, before I went on medical leave, they had a program which is called Career Choice, and they initially paid like 95%, what was it, 95% of the course or tuition. And then they also changed it in the beginning of this year. So now they pay 100% of tuition. Well, it's up to a certain dollar amount. So let me not make it seem like if you have $10,000 for tuition, they'll pay the whole thing. So basically, I'm just going to go over the career choice, what they offered at Amazon. So at Amazon, it's called Career Choice, and they have several vendors that they work with. You could choose information technology, which is what I chose. You could choose mechanical, and you could choose healthcare, and then the other one is trucking. So when I first initially applied, I applied so I could pursue cybersecurity. So of course, when early in the year, I went to apply to one of the vendors, and it was filled up. I was like, oh my god! I said, man, cybersecurity. So I went, applied, took the test, you know, went through the whole process, and then they said all the spots were taken. Now, so I said, okay. So in the meantime, I said, let me look into other things that may be interesting to me. So at first, initially, I was going to go through Merit America, which is another vendor they work with for technical support. I went, took the whole assessments, and when I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to do technical support, which is basically customer service. Now, some people may believe that they don't do technical support or their job is not technical support, but it's more to it. So in the meantime, I was looking at it had a program that had technical sales. Now, technical sales is basically a position where you're still working in the tech industry, but you're not actually being a software developer or coding. But it's basically you work with companies, major companies, some small startup companies, and you're basically the backbone of the company because without software development and programming, you must have a sales department that handles marketing and sales because you have to have customers in order to provide technical support or products. Now, there are various different aspects in technical sales. It's fintech, which is financial. Every industry, every company, they have a sales department, and it's the sales development representative position, or SDR, or technical sales. Now, when I looked into it, I said to myself, okay, I have expensive experience in customer service. I have experience in sales and a business background. And I said to myself when I looked into SV Academy, now, if you're on YouTube, you may see these ads pop up for SV Academy. But so when I looked into it, I applied. It's an 8 week part-time program. So it's 8 weeks. And basically they work on the Coursera platform where you basically will learn various aspects of the technical sales. Now, one thing I did enjoy about the SV Academy program is one, they don't just let you take a whole bunch of classes or take a whole bunch of watch a whole bunch of videos. You actually work with a project manager, and now that the course is completed, because I got my certificate last night, but I was at work at Amazon because I'd sworn I told them the last day was today and I was supposed to come to work at 10 p.m. But I looked at the schedule, it said 6. So I said, okay, whatever. So I have a mentor, I have a career coach, and they really go about helping you pursue a position. Most of it's like a 90 something percent placement rate in helping you find a position because they have partnerships of different companies that they work with. Now, this company, SV Academy, is based in San Francisco. So a lot of the people from previous cohorts, I was cohort number 70. So previous people have found positions at various different companies, very good companies. And also, one good thing about this program was they had a internship. Now, it was a couple of weeks where you actually do the exact role of a tech sales representative. Now, technical sales, let me describe it. It's not like the typical cold call. It's not the typical sales calls where you calling people on the phone all day. Um, I mean, it is cold calling, but it's other things involved in technical sales. Yes, you make your. So basically, this is what it is. Technical sales, you basically call different prospects, you research prospects for whatever company that you're working for, and you're sending out emails, you're researching, you know, you're making phone calls, and basically all you're doing is setting up either appointments for the account executive representative. So you make the appointments. You don't close the sales. You're not doing sales. So you just basically, just calling, emailing, and setting up appointments to speak with someone about the company or the product they're selling. Most of the time, you're not selling to individual persons. You're really focusing on um, business owners, companies to sell a product. So say for instance, YouTube have a program. Now they do, and you wanted to offer, say, the YouTube um, TV, and you want to call a company and offer them the YouTube TV services. So I'll call, I will spend my day and I will call companies or people, or individuals who make decisions about YouTube TV. And then I says, well, you're not making a sale. You're not trying to close the sale. You basically just introducing the product. And then it says, well, you set an appointment for the account representative. Then the account representative will contact them and do their pitch. Now, I've had jobs in the past where I was doing similar things. Even when I first started in my early 20s, when I worked on Wall Street in New York, basically that's what I was doing, prospecting leads for stocks for the broker. But in the old times, before internet, before social media, I would have to sit there with a bunch of cards and make these phone calls on a telephone. And he had no auto dialer. You would have to pick up the phone and dial different investors and basically connect them to the broker. So once you get a hold of someone, you would transfer them to the broker do their thing. So I've done that. Hey, three. Well, now it's down to two. All right, y'all, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, please. Like, comment, and subscribe. So then, you would do that. Now, another company I used to work with, and I did pretty good when I was doing it. Then another company, it was the credit card machines. So I worked with a company, and I was getting those appointments like this. And actually, I had some good leads that those sales representatives were closing them, and I was making bank like this. But see, that too was before the internet age and stuff. You had to go on the phone and dial. So I had people around me. They be trying to wonder how did I used to make these appointments and close these sales. So they be trying to copy my way. Negroes, y'all cannot copy Teresa's pattern of speaking. Because see, one thing I was doing during that internship, we had to make these phone calls. I managed to get people on the phone, and I wasn't like those annoying telemarketers persons who call and don't even say who they are or whatever. They just start talking. Most of the time, it'd be, and then I'll hang up on them because if you can't call me and just, ask to say my name, you're not say, are you the owner of the property? No, you're not going to get me to discuss anything. I'm going to say something ridiculous like I want $3 million or I want 500,000 for the house. Otherwise, you're not going to just call me crazy without those type of relationship of some sort, Then I got to curse you out. But when I was doing sales, even when I worked at the wireless companies, I did sales. I wasn't just focusing on the product because you could buy a product anywhere. You have to establish the relationship with people, understand their needs, and develop that trust. And that's what I did. And that's why I was successful. And even if they said no, they would at least listen and says, "Oh no, thank you," and da da da. So when I was going through this internship with SV Academy, it's not paid, so it's part of the program. Um, I completed the dials, the number of calls they wanted me to make, connections, and just work the system that these technical companies work with, Salesforce and SalesLoft, and some other technical programs. So I gained experience in learning these different technical programs, and they also help you with your resume. So they basically, tailored my resume from top to bottom. So I'm happy. And then with the program, now since Amazon paid for the program, they end up getting a discount because you know, they could promote this to all nationwide of this SV Academy program. So they negotiated the price, and it was like 5,000, whatever. So that was part of the benefits with Amazon. You get to go to school for free. They do have where you choose a program in those categories that I discussed. If you go into a regular university, they also pay for tuition and books. You just have to submit the the tuition, and they will pay up to 5,250, I believe, somewhere around that amount. And they'll also adjust your schedule to go to school while you're working. So They also have programs for foundations, like if you wanted to go to school to learn English as a second language, because Amazon is an international company. So if you wanted to learn English or you wanted to get your GED, um, they have a program that's free where you can learn AWS. So I am currently learning that. It's not a program that can get a certificate or anything, but I'm trying to learn some new skills. Cause y'all know me, I love learning. And if say I came in as a regular person who applied for the tuition, this program actually is like $11,000. Now that's a lot. And I said I cannot afford to take up no student loans or take out no loans anymore. I'm not going to do it. But I will do a video what I recently read yesterday about Biden um, dismissing private universities and colleges. Like if you went to University of Phoenix, which I did go to when I was taking federal tax courses, DeVry, which I went to, and Capella. If you went to any of those schools, they're dismissing the debt. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. So my whole entire student loan debts will be wiped out because I went to those private schools. Now I probably will have a few $1,000s owed from undergrad, but I do believe that the bulk of my, mm, at least half of that student loans that I owe, or more than half, was from those private schools. I said, all these years of paying and paying and paying, they finally said those were predatory. Those companies, those schools were basically predatory. And basically they were getting federal money of the when you take out these student loans. But that's another video altogether that just passed yesterday. And I'm not talking about the other one with this other school they passed a few weeks ago, but now they extended. They didn't extend it. They always been a lawsuit against these schools: Capella, University of Phoenix, Keller. All those schools were being sued for years for predatory lending because they deceived students in obtaining these student loans. And people say, well, ain't nobody forced no one taking a student. I don't want to hear that argument anymore because it's beyond just no one didn't force you or no one didn't make you. The point is that it's the way that you go about um, loans. It's just like these housing loans or mortgages that they did for the Black communities or people of color, if you want to say, with these mortgage loans, predatory loans that they was offering years ago. And then people end up losing their house. So, but that's another video too. So let me go and finish this because I'm not going to talk too long because I'm cooking my meals. I'm cooking some spaghetti on the stove. So one of the things that SV Academy does is that if you pay, say I didn't go through Amazon and I paid for this thing outright, they guarantee you that they will place you a position or find you a position within 2 months because they have various partnerships with various companies that they work with. And also, the starting salary as a SDR or tech sales is 75,000 a year and up. This is not an entry. It's an entry level position, but it's an entry level in the sense that it's a non-coding position, but is a lucrative position that pays very well because they pay a base salary and then any commissions or bonuses you make through the year. So, and the average salary range for technical sales is 75,000. Now, I did do my research. I did go on LinkedIn and Indeed and looked it up and did some research about this technical sales. But there's other things you could do. There's also customer success, which basically is like customer service, but you manage accounts. So they do pay pretty well. But that's more of the lower end pay compared to, say, software developer or something of that nature. But see, I'm too old to start off in technical sales. I mean, not technical sales, as a software developer. Now, y'all know last year when I took that nonprofit organization to learn how to code, um, I didn't even finish. I had the last JavaScript that I had to learn, and then I had to do these projects. But the class was that when I took that thing with that nonprofit with Generation USA, it was like 60 something people in the crew, 60 something people in the Zoom room. It was all day. And then when it was down towards the end of the year, it was time for me to go back to TurboTax in December. So I said, shoot, since I had to go back to TurboTax in December and did the training, I couldn't do both and I didn't finish it. And it was frustrating to me when I did it because they didn't have no partnerships like they did at SV Academy. They didn't have companies that recruit directly with Generation for positions. They basically was very cookie cut. You know, they had one person, his name was Lionel, that helped you with the resumes, and he really didn't help you with the resume. He was so basic, very basic. They didn't have career coaches that really coach you along. So when I went back on my LinkedIn profile to see the previous people that was in Generation USA, even the instructors, ain't none of them found a position yet, even though it's supposed to be such a demand in technical field and such a demand. But see, you have to understand. A lot of people, especially this person I was watching on YouTube, she always keeps saying her name Erica Williams, Classic Con. She always says, "Oh, you got these free certifications and you can find a job and this and that." But I said that may be true. You could take free certifications as a starting point to go into an entry level position, but you also have to have the mindset because that's one thing I could say about these two programs is that they did focus on not learning how to code, not learning how to do a program. They focus on um, having the right mindset because you have to have the right mindset, especially when you are pursuing technical in its technical careers, whether it be technical sales, whether it be SDR, whether it be software developer. You have the grit and the grind to keep pushing a career. So, but one thing I could say with SV Academy is that they do work with you beyond the year. They help you a whole year with career coaching, resumes, job searching, referrals. They got these, that's why I said I'm not going to stay here long. They practice on interviews and networking. They have, because in the technical field, especially when you're in technical sales, it's a small world. So they have a lot of connections and a lot of companies that they partner with, and they will have job fairs that they want. You have to submit your profile to the companies that the partnerships they work with, and they'll submit your resume. And one guy in the class before he already had found a job before the program ended, but I always thought he was a mole because I was like, you sure know a whole lot for someone who started with us at the same time. So he found a position before the program even finished. So I said, well, that's good. That was a good thing. But I'll keep you updated regarding my career choice of moving on because now that I'm finished with the program, and thank you for Amazon for doing the career choice. I'm gonna try to apply for position. I think I know I saw a position within Amazon. I'm trying to apply within, but as well as other companies. But for those who are thinking about a position and working at Amazon, if you currently work at Amazon, I've been telling all my coworkers right around me about it. I said, y'all might take advantage of this because I wish they had this when I was going to school, undergrad, even though they always had tuition reimbursements. But um, I wish they had more opportunities like that when I was going to school, when I was going to school, especially as an undergrad, you know. Because to be honest, y'all, in this time and age, you don't have to go to a university. You don't have to get no degree unless you're going to a school to learn a trade. This time in this age and time, I was telling my coworkers, the younger ones, I said, y'all need to go to Gwinnett Technical College, some type of technical college, and learn a trade for 2 years. Don't, don't waste money taking out student loans. They said that the biggest groups that have student loan debt is Generation X, which is my generation. Because when I was going to school in college, graduating high school, it always was like oh, you need to go to college. Oh, you need to go to college. Da 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 da. And if you didn't go to college, then people went to the military. But then even people went in the military, oh, you got to go to school once you're in the Army or Navy, Air Force, blah blah blah. You do go to school when you're in the service, for whatever your MOS is. But then even then, they was like, oh, you get the GI Bill. You got to be on the service for so many years. They'll give you the GI Bill. You know, they always was pushing by going to school, going to school, going to school. And there's nothing wrong with going to school, but you have to look at what it is that you want to do now and what's in demand. You know, that's the thing. So when Amazon announced about the career choice, I looked into it. I went to the webinar. I had researched it. I looked into it, and I said, you know what? This is the one I want to do. And I completed it. I'm finished. So I'm moving forward, letting the career coach work with me. I already have my resume done, and then I'm gonna. Don't get me wrong. I'm still not gonna. I'm still gonna learn web development and software development. Since I already learned 90% of it, I'm still gonna do the projects. I'm still gonna do my little. I'm still gonna finish up my little website that I'm building. I don't want to reveal it to y'all yet, but I'm still learning Python. So, and the more I keep learning and skills, building onto my resume, you know, I'm still gonna be working at TurboTax. Matter of fact, like I said, August the 5th, I go back to work. I already made my schedule. I'll be getting my computer back probably in middle of July. Um, I'm still gonna work TurboTax and taxes. I may have a dual career. I was reading something the other day. Matter of fact, it was several things I was looking at that people were doing. Some people they work from home remotely. That some people have two jobs at the same time. They was working. They one two jobs working remotely at the same time, and people were just stacking up money. They said, "Shoot, I'm working from home. I'm gonna work for this one company," and they were doing two, and I'll probably be doing that too. I'll work TurboTax because I make my own schedule. And then whatever other company I work with from home, I'll do that too. And and as for Amazon, you know, take advantage of it. Career choice. If you ever decide to work at Amazon, just work there just to get into the program. You have to be at Amazon for what? 3 months. I think it's 3 months. It's 2 or 3 months. Now my 1 year anniversary at Amazon is July the 9th. So, but you have to jump at it when you see it. You have to jump at it when you see it. Ain't no point working at Amazon, hurting your feet, being all whatever, and not take advantage of that because they have so many different programs. I haven't even touched half of it that they discuss. But in order for you to be in that leadership role, I guess you could say, or AWS technical, that higher position. Now I heard that it is kind of rough with Amazon when it comes to working that once you become software developer or whatever, that higher management type, not the warehouse, but that's rough too. But it could pay very good. It pays very well. You know, I heard that after 1 year, I said, how much do you get after working 1 year? How much of a raise do you get? It's about 50 cents. 50 cents. I'm like, what? So come July, I'll be making $19 an hour. Now, let me tell y'all, it's getting real slow because these last few weeks they offered VTO. You know me, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But they're not hiring as much like they was because yes, Thursdays is when they usually bring in new hires. So yesterday, when I was at lunch, they must have had about one, two, three. I think they had about maybe less than 10 people. They probably had about five, six. They probably had about five, six people that they were going walking them through the tour, and then they'll place them in what department they'll place them in. Usually, when they on Thursdays when they have new hires come in, they usually have it'll be about 30 no it'll be about 35, 40, 50 people that will be at the new hire orientation when they used to have it every because that's the they usually bring people in for new hires. Now I don't know what they have during the daytime shift, but I know they used to have at least 40, 50 people at a time that they be hiring. Now it'd be like five, none. So they Amazon ain't really hiring like they used to. Now I know it might be a warehouse position or whatever, but I know at the Stone Mountain location, which is they used to have a lot of people, but now these people holding on to their jobs. They not leaving, and they not letting that time unpaid time go to a negative, because once you get down to a negative balance for unpaid time, you're fired. But people ain't quitting. People ain't moving on like they used to. And if they did move on to something else, or they did leave, or whatever the case may be, they're not hiring like they used to. Amazon used to have positions all over all the time. Last year it was like, ooh, we need people. We need. Nope. It ain't like that. Even if you go to Whole Foods, because Amazon owns Whole Foods. And I went to Whole Food the other day and I saw a sign not hiring and stuff. They pay pretty high too to work at Amazon and Whole Food. I know they pay at least 16, $17 an hour, depending. And if you do the shopping, they pay pretty good. But and ain't a whole lot of younger people working there and stuff. It's like middle. It's like younger, not younger, middle age people who look like they were professionals, and they just working there because they lost their job. Because let me tell you, what I was reading, and what they was anticipating was that it was a lot of companies, even technical companies, are um, letting people go. But the ones that I've seen that they were letting people go or people getting fired with companies that's not doing very well. Revlon, the makeup company, Coin, any company dealing with Coinbase or Bitcoin or no, Cyber cryptocurrency. That's what I meant to say. And those are usually small grade B companies. They letting people go. I tell you about Carvana when I went to interview, and I was so disappointed that I didn't get it because I was like, what kind of experience did y'all want? You act like, and I turn around. That was a blessing in disguise because they operated in Atlanta, and then they letting go thousands of people. So all those people they hired a few months ago when I went to the interview, now all the people getting let go. Mm-mm. Nope. And it's just ridiculous. But thanks for the 4 thumbs up for the 4 people who watch me. So, anywho, oh, one last thing. If you're interested in working for TurboTax, you do not have to send me your resume. You just need to send me your name, phone number, just send me your name, phone number. What else they ask for? Hold on. Email. Send me that. I'm not gonna call you, so don't be like, I don't know when they call. People. So if you're interested, send me your name, email, and phone number, and I will put it on my referral list and send it off to HR. They already sent me an email asking me if I had any referrals, and I do get a gift card, so I would appreciate that if you really want to look for a job and you want to work at TurboTax, they are looking for people now. So I'll make another video with that, a short video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Let me go ahead and finish my spaghetti. I smell it cooking. It smells so good too. Anywho, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.